I just want to say one thing, and this is really not, I'm not the level of thinking. First of all, all religions are basically that their idea of God is different than ours, right? And okay, I can understand that they believe in God, and maybe it's not as purified as Avraham Avinu's, right? Okay, basically, the whole world believes in one God. Right? The only thing is, Avraham Avinu's mamish so purified, right? Mamish, there's no pictures, no names. It's mamish one God, and they're not so far advanced yet, And again, I don't want to get involved in religion. There's only one religion who is against Mashiach. It's not only against God. See, Christianity, their position is not to God. They want to take away our Mashiach. And what they do, they take and they bring proof from our Torah, right? And they make the word crazy because they take words from our Torah and turn them over, right? So that night, whatever it is, we don't learn Torah. And with this mamish, we bring a little bit of a mechitzele, that they shouldn't have shlita over the Torah to utilize it for their purpose. What?
We were trying to figure out why it seems like that you should study Torah more.
No, you see, I don't want to learn Torah, and they bring a raya from the Torah against Mashiach, right? It's not so simple. You see, again, it's not even a level of argument. I'm just telling you, because the pagans to bring rayas from the Torah. The Hindus don't touch my Torah. Their idea of God is different than mine. Okay, nothing against them, It's not as purified as Avraham Avinu's, right? See, Christianity is very close to us, but they're taking our Torah and bringing rayas. I think I told you I had the privilege to be in London for this, was a big conference, about a few thousand non-Jews who identify as Hebrew. It was very special. Okay, and the crazy thing is, Mamash Ben Ishmael of Shabbat Chazon, I'm sure you remember. And thank you, too brilliant. And the way it was organized was that I preached 7:30, from 6:45 till about 8:30, because Shabbos Chazon in London begins 10 minutes after 10, let's mention. Very, very nice. So I had Mamash all the time in the world. The only thing is that the special thing, after that they organized that the top people of the churches and some people had a little mamash so sweet. They bought me matzah and gefilte fish, Mamash, really with so much tacheret they were thinking about, and they wanted to take part in my Shabbos. Very sweet, Tell you, mamash, very edel, very sweet. And I wanted to tell them what I think, but with love, not chas. So I said to them, we're talking about the Torah. I said to them, let me ask something very straight. But there was one professor, he said, he's teaching God's word, in a school. I said, since we're so close tonight, so I can permit myself to say something. Let me ask you, the Bible you teach from, does it say there, an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth? He said, yeah, that's what the Bible says. I said, brother, do you really think that's what God said? Can you imagine Moshe Rabbeinu standing from Mount Sinai? And God says to him, an eye for an eye, if someone knocks out your tooth, you better get strong and knock his tooth down. Can you imagine that? So he says, what does it mean? I start telling them, and I open their hearts a little bit, that the whole Torah is so completely mistranslated, the most terrible way. And this, the Mamash was a gewalt, it's the Bible expert in England, top man. Mamash, after Shabbos, he met me and I gave him all the translations. He has to get Art Scroll and all kinds of swarm, And he says, Mamash was Mama from heaven that you came because I'm going to throw out all the old Bibles. I'm going to study really God's word, See what they did? They Mamish mistranslated the Bible in order to do their thing. And tonight what we're doing is Mamish we mama should pray to God to have no unique from our Torah. You see, it's one thing to do wrong, but bring a raya from the Torah that I can do wrong. That's really bad. Expert in England, top man. You know what was so bad, and I'm sure you remember it anyway from all the years. What's so special? What did the Greeks do? It says, Timu kol hashmonim shebehecho. You know what it is? And this is mamish Gewalt from a Cook. Basically, the Gemara says, Yavte lekim leyefes. Yefes is beautiful. The Yashkin b'ol Hashem, and he should dwell in the tent of Hashem. So that means mamish we need them because they have a very, very developed sense of beauty. Right? Let's face it. I don't want to say anything bad, but when you walk in Borough Park, it's very holy, right? It's not overly beautiful. It is maybe not. Sure, it's very sweet. I wouldn't say you just blow your mind over the beauty of the streets, right? But then there are certain parts of the world which are mamish beautiful, right? Mamish beautiful, right? And I don't want to say anything bad, I wish we would have more sense of beauty. Wish. So Rav Kook says the deepest Torah in the world. So what are they crafting about? So it's very beautiful. The Greeks came and they wanted to make it more beautiful. The Torah says so. Yavte lekim yefes. Yishkem b'ol Hashem. So he says they give out Torah. They have only right to be in the Ohel, not in the Hechel. Have you heard anything like this? Mamish geoines, It's a Gewalt. They have a right to be in the Ohel, in the tent, but not in the Hechel. Now, the Hechel is the inner chamber, innermost chamber. You can make it more beautiful from outside. Don't get into my inside. It's a Gewalt. Blew my mind in itself. What? Yeah, Mamish was Gewalt. Nobody, your mom can telephone today. I said that schnitzel, Mamish was L'chaim, brother. Yes, see, because they wanted to get inside, so we took away the outside. You see, after Hanukkah, we're not accepting their beauty anymore. What? That what? I think so, You know what we do? You know what we do? We said we have our own beauty, Mahadrim and Amadrim. We know already how to make it more beautiful. We learned from you. 500 years ago, I learned from you the trick. If you learn, you don't have to keep on learning all the time, right? Obviously, you're not my rabbi in beauty anymore because you don't know how far to go, right? When I see my rabbi doesn't know what to do, I take another rabbi, right? Hopefully. Okay, Shem says, Yefes, you're not my rabbi anymore. To Yefes.
It was?
In beauty, yes. The Torah says, Yavte lekim leyefes, the Yishkin b'ol Hashem. Torah says so. It's not just a little Jewish press idea from Rabbi Shalom that let the Jews and the Greeks get together. The Torah says that the beauty of that Shem has a very deep sense of holiness, but Yefes has a very strong sense of beauty. So you know what we do on Hanukkah? You know what we do? We say to the Greeks, I tell you something. You maybe know what beautiful is, but we know of Mahadrin min Amhadrin. We know how to make even beautiful more beautiful. But you know what it is? You see, it's like this. You see, all the other religions, they talk about the oil from outside, right? Christianity has a chutzpah to go into the Hechel. The Yidden are waiting for Mashiach, Mamash, the whole thing was Mashiach. And they take away our Mashiach, they say we have him, right? Or you don't even have him anymore. You lost him. And the whole thing, I don't even talk about it tonight. It's crazy, right?
So?
Yeah?
So what happened?
What do you mean, what happened?
Why did it happen like in the first or second Mikdash? Why did they come in and why did it all happen?
Make yourself clear, know what you mean.
Four Hanukkah, right?
Yeah?
It was like really bad scene there. There's bad things with that community, you know.
You see, I tell you something very, very, hear what you say.
Asians, you know.
I tell you something, you see, the Beis HaMikdash is mamish, gives us koyach to hold out in exile. See, the first Beis HaMikdash was mamish, the Beis HaMikdash. The second Beis HaMikdash says the Chassidus and Rav Nachman and all the rabbis was only built to give us strength to hold out the Mashiach's coming. And mamish Chanukah is, you know, remember the lo nitten bekostet, it's not written down, because it's still going on. Chanukah is still going on. You see, the world comes to us, and they want to get into us and say, we make it more beautiful. We say, we like your religion, you know, we like it, but face it, it's not beautiful enough to make it more, right? Your religion is not loving enough. You put in the real lovey-lovey into it, right? So we tell them, listen, take off, right? Not in the heichal. And we're throwing out from the oil also, because we don't want to have anything to do with you anymore. Yeah. Yeah.
They made it so dark you can't see anymore.
That's why you see what they do, and you see what it is. You know how they make it dark? By telling us that this is light, right? Because the Greeks don't say, I want to put light. You see, but in the Nebuchadnezzar, all the pagans come say, we don't believe in your God, we don't believe in anything. It's obvious it's dark, I have light. When someone comes to you and says, I have a better light than you, that's real darkness, right? Imagine, I'm in love with this girl, she's very beautiful. Someone comes and says to me, listen, I want you to take an ugly girl. Who cares? I have a beautiful girl, right? Someone comes and says, I have a girl more beautiful. And maybe she really is beautiful, you know? The Greeks have some beauty, right? Let's face it. And it's really hard to know the difference. Mamish hard to know the difference. And on only the Chashmonon, because it was so holy, that's why you needed a Kohen and not a Melech, because it was so delicate that only Kesif the Kohen Yishmudas, only the Kohenim could Mamish save our lives. You see, you have to realize one thing very strong. This is Sochat Shabbat Torah. Until Chanukah, basically, we Yidden had just to fight Prost, coarse evil. There were people in the world, barbarians, people who want to kill, and we Yidden are human, we are sweet, we believe in God, we believe in not killing. That's not such a heavy fight. From Chanukah on, something else happens. The world talks to you in the name of God. And in the name of peace, the name of beauty, right? That's already a heavy scene, right? That's even seen. If you have Claire to come on in the middle. Claire, can you all move closer? I'm begging you. Mama, because it's warmer, it's sweeter. Can you hold my guitar? Good Yom Tov, good Shabbos. And you know what it is? And I want you to know something very, very beautiful and deep. What is the most beautiful thing we even have? What's the most beautiful thing in the world? The most beautiful thing is Torah Shabbat Seder. That is the most beautiful thing. Can you imagine? There's one posik in the Torah, and can you imagine how beautiful? You know, the Greeks know how to write the words. Beautiful, right? Their calligraphy is very beautiful. It's outside stuff. You know what we do with the posik? Gewalt, right? You put in the most unbelievable, beautiful ideas in every word of the Torah. So you see what we did? After Chanukah, we decided that we concentrate on inner beauty. Forget about the outer beauty. But then, the truth is, you see, like, and it's very strong, you know, like, but Chanukah the Chashmonon realized one thing: unless you really make it beautiful, even on the outside, mamish, you have to put, it has to be so beautiful that you can attract the whole world. No? Okay, in Achsidus Malish is sweet, when you walk in there, and the mamish need beauty. So they said, mamish, put it by the door, and mahadrim and mahadrim make it even more beautiful. Everybody knows that this is very strong, that B'Chanukah mentioned, all the big rabbis, Mamish put on big Shabbos in the Shrine. And there was some rabbis was very special, I just saw it, who Mamish not only bought big Shabbos, they Mamish bought everything new, not only for themselves, especially for their children. Should be rich enough to do that. Mamish, everything new for their children. The children should feel not only clean, but Mamish beautiful. You know? Mamish, everything should be so beautiful. Gewalt. You know what it is? The truth is, there's a Gewalt opening in the world, you know? I don't know if I told you the story that, the Gewalt story, make it very fast, and I'm sure some of you remember it. Okay, I'll start there in the middle. The story is that when my first record came out, I got one Sunday afternoon, I get a call from a Yidele, I get a call from a Yidele in Amsterdam. He says, I'm here in New York, and can I get your record? So he says, I have one here, you can have it. He comes to my house, he wants to pay me. He says, you know, I'm good maybe at making the guna, but I'm not so good on taking money. Just let me give it to you as a gift. Should have taken the money, right? And it was stupid. Anyway, a few months later, I get a letter from an abbey. You know what an abbey is? A bishop is a rebel of just of the world, and an abbey is a rebel of monasteries and convents. He writes to me like this: I want you to know, one with the other, the long story, I heard your record. Because this person who got the record for me is a friend with him. He says, I heard your record. He said, I want you to know, I grew up in Holland, and I'm not Jewish, I'm a Christian, and the whole time, I'm so angry at my own religion. What kind of religion do we have that we can kill 6 million Jews? But besides it, I was waiting to meet one Jew who I can talk to. Because when I heard your record, I knew that you're the Jew I want to talk to, you know? The Gewalt. So he writes to me that I should please come to see him. He lives somewhere in a monastery at the end of Holland. It was a Gewalt. Anyway, I came on my way back from Eretz Yisrael. In order to make myself strong, I called up the mikveh in Amsterdam, and I said I have to leave. My train leaves 5. And I took this Yidel, I gave the record. He went to the mikveh at 3 o'clock. The Gewalt. I'm strong, to make himself very holy and strong. And we went to see this abbey in the monastery. He picked me up there from the train. He's, you know, usually abbeys are old people, as long as a young person. I mean, relatively young. He says to me that, first of all, he told me that he took my record and played it for Pope John. About. And I was not even a joke. And it was Mama, she got me an invitation to come to play for him. Yeah, it was a Gewalt. And what? He was Mamish from the Chassidim Moshe. That's not true ways about it. The only sad thing is, until I come, he took off already. But anyway, I want you to know that this abbey is still, he's going Shabbos morning to shul in Holland, you know. And if I would press it, I'm sure, I mean, he'll be Megai eventually, there's no question about that. Right now, just, you know, what? Not, you know. At that day, when I was in Holland, you know, I would have told him, listen, I want you to come with me to Shleim and Mamish Learning Yeshiva, would have Mamish talked with. I just didn't say it. You know what Mamish got so much into my neshama? He picked me up there from the train. He says to me, I want you to know that Pope John and I know that you're the chosen people. Because we know that you're the chosen people. Think about, you know? I mean, this is the other side, right? This is it. I'm sorry, what? No, he didn't say the name of all the Christians. It's just Pope John and obviously, they don't know yet. But he told me that he's advanced enough to know that we are the chosen Chagabal. I know, Gewalt. She would. But anyway, I want you to know something. Okay, I'm just telling you this. So I played there there were 250 monks. In this.
With habits, right?
With habits. No, it was like a vault, And he told me that my monks are very, 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 withdrawn from the world. So I know, he says, your cuts are very exciting, but don't expect anything of my monks. You know what? They were jumping up and down like wild herrings. It was like a vault, It was like a vault. And after that, it was very good. It was published in about springtime. It was between Purim and Pesach. We went out in the garden. We lived, Mamish, about 30 kilometers is the closest city. The Mamish, not in this world. And we sat down, we were learning Tehillim. And they don't shoot because he told me that they want to know more about the Psalm. And I mean, they don't know any Medrashim, they have no Torah about Pesach. And I learned with them with Tehillim, and I'm telling you, it was Mamish like, I saw Mamish, I have them in my hands. If I tell them that there's only one way you have to be a Yid, if I as a Jew would have permission, to be a missionary, I would have told them, but it's not our way, right? So I lived up to one show. I told you what happened to me in Germany this summer when the bishop says to me, he says, I want you to know you had those thousands of kids in your hands. And I appreciate that you didn't tell them they have to become Jewish,
Tell the whole story.
Yeah. But then let me first finish this story. This is the way I saw it. I don't know if I told you the story, so if I told you already, just pretend you're not there. Anyway, listen to this. Many years later, there was the assistant to the abbey, Mamish Asozan Iloi Mamish, I thought to myself, well, if I could talk him into going to yeshiva, he could become a Goan. It was Mamish like, and he was ready. I saw Mamish, the way he was learning with me, He was Mamish so open, Well, he says to me, if there's any place in the world where I could learn like this, I didn't tell him what I said, in Israel and Yerushalayim, there are enough places to learn here. I said, I don't want to talk you in or out, but just telling you. Anyway, many years later, I gave a concert in Curacao. Enough places to learn here. I said, I don't want to talk you in or out, but just telling you. Curacao is a Dutch island. It's a whole long story, which is not even important. The rabbi says to me there, I want you to know, and I arrived there, and I brought my cousin and says, who's playing with me? Since my Rebbe weren't with me, they said, okay, it's a secret. Tonight, you have an unbelievable piano player with you. But, anyway, we cannot tell you it's a secret. So the rabbi, I told him, tell me who it is, I just want to be prepared. I promise I won't tell that I know. So he tells me this story, that in Curacao, it's a little island, and you have to realize also one thing, Curacao is the first stop where the Marranos went from Spain to Curacao, the oldest Jewish cemetery besides Spain. And they have the island, they mamish know that they're descendants of Eden. In Curacao I have no trouble, I don't need a cab. I walk on the street, a yarmulke, and tzitzis, every second car stops. And they mamish say, we are relatives to you. We are Catholics now, but we are descendants of Jews. What? That I don't know. I don't see. I haven't been in the shul for a long time. The oldest shul, the Gebal shul.
Beautiful shul.
Cemetery.
Sand floor.
But anyway, listen to this. They just fixed it now.
Sand floor.
That's possible, yeah. He told me so many stories about the shul that I already forgot it. But anyway, to make it very short, he says every year they have a gathering of all religions, like Catholic, Protestant, Lutheran, and whatever there is. And the one on the audience decides who has the best song, get a prize. He says a new abbey came to Curacao, now a new bishop, and the bishop calls up the rabbi. He says, I would be very happy if I can participate in this contest of songs. He says, you have to ask me, right? You're the bishop. He says, no, you understand. I want to sing as a Jew. I want to sing for you on the Jewish side. They said, you want to sing on the Jewish side? He said, what do you know? He said, I want you to know, he said, I'm a good friend of Shlomo, under me. I have all his records, but he says the most important thing is I heard him in Holland many years ago, and Mama should know all his songs. I want to play his songs tonight and sing. Anyway, the chazan was supposed to sing, was schwach between you and me. The bishop sang some of my songs, and Mamish took the whole island by storm. You know? He has Mamish a gewalt voice, Mamish beautiful, and he plays the eyes. He's Mamish a concert pianist. See, because before he decided, he's Mamish so talented. He is a doctor, and he's also a concert pianist. And Mamish a gewalt, you know, Mamish, and he's a bishop. Anyway, so he came that night to play piano with me, you know. And the surprise was he wanted to know if I recognize him, you know. It's a gewalt. What a concept, gewalt, you know. But anyway, you know, people like this, they're mamish. You know, sometimes I think maybe we overdoing it, you know. Mamish, I didn't ask any of the tzaddikim, you know. What do you really do? You see mamish a big neshama like this? Only needs, you know, I was last year in Holland, and I davened in shul, but Nishmas Kocha, I see the Abbey walked in, you know. He's walking in. And he knows Hebrew perfect, you know. So he was telling this to me the whole time. You know, he's so idle, he doesn't come in with his crosses or anything, you know. He comes dressed in like a civilian. And Mamish a heilige neshama, you know.
You mean to say he's getting out of his habits?
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway. You know, Rab Nachman says, it's very clear, Rab Nachman says, before Mashiach is coming, all the big neshamas from all over the world are coming to us here. No question about that. Mamish, Mamish. I have to tell you one more thing, which is unbelievable. I don't know if you know this. On one hand, we see so many, some of us Yidden are falling off, right? And then we see, on the other hand, we see a lot of big souls on the other side that are coming to us. So there's a Gewalt Torah of one of the biggest rabbis, just like this. When Moshe comes back, God says to Moshe, when ask the Yidden if they want to receive the Torah. So the Yanu Kola Am Yachtav, the whole, all the Yidden answered back yes and received the Torah. So this Rebbe says, the truth is, there were some people who only said it because, what should they do, right? All the Yidden said, and you're part of the crowd. Well, one Yidden said, no, I don't want to. Geht doch nicht, right? So he didn't want to, or she didn't want to. So he says, they are born many years later, they're born Yidden and they follow. Because basically they really didn't want to be on Mount Sinai. So good. One of the biggest rabbis, I forgot about it. Not from today, one from the old rabbis. He says, when you see a Yidden Chassidus living Yiddishkeit, he didn't want to be on Mount Sinai. He was only there because everybody was there. On the other hand, he didn't say that. Don't ask specifics, I'm just telling you the Torah. We don't know. On the other hand, he says, when you see a non-Jew coming back to Yiddishkeit, he says, okay, imagine God says to this nation, you want to come to Mount Sinai? They answered no. He said, do you really think none of them wanted to go? The nation didn't want to go, but there's a lot of people wanted to go, private. So what their story is, that they are born as non-Jews, and they come back. So right now, it's mamish, this traffic is unbelievable, right? You know, it's mamish traffic. All the Yidden, but you know what's so special? That on one hand, you know, it's so heartbreaking that so many of our kids live in Yiddishkeit. On the other hand, God is mamish purifying His people, those who really didn't want to be there, so they're not there, you know. You know, it gave, for me, it was a very strong consolation. Because I remember someone called me up and he says, mamish, my nephew, mamish gefer. I started talking to him, and somehow after I heard the story, it was clear to me, he doesn't want to be on Mount Sinai. Push. It's okay, you want to go away, leave, you know. I'm not stopping you, right? Maybe if I wouldn't have known this Torah, I would have put. He's a dear about Yiddishkeit. Mama, she thinks we're low, we are rotten, the Torah's bad. Forget it, you know. Okay, you want to leave? Dame gesund, you know. But then you meet people on the other side. But they're so, you know, so hungry for Yiddishkeit, you know. Unbelievable.
About getting to a certain level where there's no such thing as individual religious souls, like there's no such thing as individual soul, or you take it to a certain level and it's like we're all God's children. How does that cook?
Hey, an unbelievable telephone of cook. You have enough? Okay, good. Praise God. It's well, it's good you ask, you know, because it's a good Torah to know. Pretty good. Special prize. Special
Really?
The Torah which I told or which I'm going to tell. I tell you what, I have a sefer and it's crazy. I couldn't put my fingers on it. It's called Lekutim Yikorim from Tamid Bat Shem. And it's just it's Torahs. One Torah does not connect to the other. Just someone collected Torahs, you know. And I found this Torah in there. Then after that I was looking for it all over and I couldn't find it anymore. So I don't know. But anyway, I couldn't put my fingers on it. It's called Lekutim Yikorim from Tamid Bat. It's very special to know. It's a little consolation, you know. It just doesn't make you so happy when you see someone going to India instead of there to throw, you know. Okay, maybe it's on his way out. I have nothing against them. It might be a big neshama, but his Mount Sinai is not for him. He doesn't want to actually. The second person of Cook, again, this in a letter of Olisvia. So I don't know exactly where it is from. He says that religion is going through 3 stages in the history of the world. The first stage of history is that everybody says, my religion is the only one, and you don't have my religion, I can kill you. You're out. What? No, he says the first stage of religion is that everybody believes in its religion, and if you don't have the same religion, I have the right to kill you. You don't deserve to live. The second stage of religion, suddenly we discover, Mamish, we all are one, we're all serving one God, and it's like Gewalt, as the second stage. And basically all religions are the same. The third stage is the other way around again. My religion is completely different than yours. But Gewalt, so you have the same religion, I still love you the most, right? So this is, you know, it's unbelievable, the depth of the Torah. You see, okay, I would say until the Second World War was mamish, if you didn't have the same religion, I want to kill you. The 6 million open gates, that suddenly the world realized, you know, we're all are the same, right? There's a lot of, in the air was suddenly religions began talking to each other. But now we're entering, mamish, the third phase. That people realize, especially for us heathen, right? Because we always thought we have to lick the goyim. No. You know, I can tell a person from another religion, I'm absolutely not the same. But if you serve God, you go, you serve God your way, I serve God my way. Might be completely different. But it's a different thing. See what it is? It's very crazy. On one hand, sure, Mama, you all serve one God, but not, right? It's yes and no. Right? And you know what it is? The deeper you are, the more you can stand contradictions. You know, when you're in kindergarten, teaching you 101, it's 2 or 3. Don't give me 2 answers, right? I'm not big enough to stand both, right? You'll ask Einstein, how much is 1 and 1? He'd say, it could be 1, could be 2, it could be maybe 0. I don't know, right? And he can stomach all these contradictions. Because the higher you are, the more you can stand all the contradictions. Remember Torah of Arndt Schiller says, why is it so hard to be a Jew? Because in Torah, every word is a contradiction. Everything we believe is a contradiction, right? On one hand, mamish, God is everywhere, and God is good, right? And then we see so much evil in the world. On one hand, we know we have mamish free choice. On the other hand, we mamish know that I can lift my finger by choice, right? Everything is a contradiction. And Reb Tzadok HaKohen says, don't kid yourself. You cannot fathom it in our head. Because we have a human mind and this is divine. We don't know. And the holiness of us Yidden is that we have big enough kishkas to, we can carry it. I have to tell you one thing, and then let's change the subject from religion. I have to tell you something unbelievable. You know, I don't know if some of you will remember. Many years ago was a big ecumenical meeting, and that was mamish all Christians' religion and all Eastern religions, and Humble Me was also invited. Okay. No, it was in Mount Xavier, this in Erie, Pennsylvania. Yeah. It was like about. It was very special. At that time when Baba Ramdas was there, I told you I was sitting alone with him under a tree, and I asked him, what's your Hebrew name? He said, Reuben Chaim. I said, listen, Reuben Chaim, there's nobody here, just you and I and God. I said, how long are you going to fool around like this, I mean, really. There's got to be a Yid, And it says, I know do you think we Yid don't have enough Torahs for you? You're looking for deep Torahs? We have it for whatever you need, we have, and billions of times more. So he says to me, he says, I'm fully aware of it, that eventually I have to be a Jew, but give me 2 years to fix my business. He told me that 2 years. This was 1973 or 4. Okay, at that time, if you remember, when I got married, 1973, he sent me a telegram, and he signed Reuben Chaim, Mazel Tov from Reuben Chaim, Very sweet. Because, in my invitation it says, please come help us, one window in the Holy Temple. He wrote back, I'm completely with you in rebuilding a window in the Holy Temple, but I'm here somewhere. But yes, Mazel Tov Reuben Chaim. It's very sweet, Okay. Listen to this. 2 years passed, and nothing happened. So I sent him a telegram. Please come to my seder. And mamish, the seder thing is, he must feel so guilty that mamish, wherever I am, he keeps away. Mamish. This was real talk, Anyway, so one day I'm walking into this chiropractor. At that time we lived on 91st Street. 92 was a Greek man. A chiropractor, mamish, without saying anything bad about others, but what everybody has in their head is mamish in his toes, A Greek man, I don't even think he speaks English properly. But you know what his name is? His name is Shabbat. And he always asked him, I'm sure it must be, are you sure your name is Moshe, I don't know.
Yom.
Who knows? I'm sure he must be maybe I don't know what he is. But he's a Gewalt. He's a Gewalt chiropractor. And he has mamish of sakoyach, Anyway, one day I'm going there, and I see someone sitting there with a newspaper, mamish, hiding. Brother Reuben Chaim sitting there hiding. And I didn't want to step on his toes. So he pretended he didn't want me to see him, so I pretended I didn't see him. The only thing is, after he walks out, I'm going in right there. I cannot help him, I cannot close my eyes when he walks through the door. So I said, "Oh, how are you doing?" Oh, he says, "Oh, splendid," and walked away. Anyway, then, Moshe Roskopf in at that time, Peschele, went to see him in Philadelphia at the big thing, Friday night, and they knew that I talked to him. So after the whole thing was over, they walked up and they said, Shlomo Carlebach sends a message to Reuven Chaim, good Shabbos. They made it up on their own, It was Friday night, So he says, he always reminds me of Shabbos, what can I do? Well, that was it, Then last year, you remember Zalman was with me before Pesach at this big peace conference? And Mamish made it his business to avoid to talk to me private, Like, what can I do, And I don't want to overpower him, But it's good also to know that when he sees me, for Zalman, he realizes it's time for him to...
We get him yet.
To think about it.
What was I telling you before?
Kids in Germany.
Oh, yeah.
No, I said something else. I was just going to tell you a wild story. Oh, I started talking about Mount Savior. Okay, so here is for a whole week. We'll think about every religion had one morning service and one evening service. Just divided. One day I davened Mara, and everybody was davening with me. It was very, very beautiful. And one morning, Mamish Bahonet Zachama, I davened Shachas. And everybody, I was saying the words loud in Hebrew and in English, and it was like about davening. Okay, the conference was Labor Day weekend. The conference ends Friday at 12. Okay, and Swami Satchinanda was in charge of this whole thing. So here the deepest question is, Makebe Patish, who's finishing the whole thing? Okay, there were such great giants, Mamish bishops, the Archbishop from London, and so, I wasn't even thinking of going to the last session because I knew they were not going to ask me. I was hanging around. And I was just packing because I wanted to leave early to be home for Shabbos. Suddenly, 11:45, Swami Satchinanda comes to me and this is like this. This is like a wild thing to do. He said, I want you to know I'm in charge of this conference. For a whole week I'm thinking to myself, who should say the last word here? Whom should I give the last 10 minutes? He says, I'm watching you and I'm watching all the religions. This is the word, Mamish, from the Chassidim Umas Ha'olam, from an outside person. He says to me, I want you to know, I noticed one thing, that you Jews have the power of putting people together. You have the power of bringing God's oneness into the world. So I decided to ask you to have the last 10 minutes. It's a gewalt, It's a gewalt, sometimes, Mamish, Mamish, I'm praying so hard, God should give me the right words, But Mamish gewalt, Anyway. Yeah, okay, let's sing it. Okay, we're going to sing major. Oops.